JJ, I'm writing a new book about the laughing God. Tell me what you think about it.
This is a fantastic title because we know from the ancient sutras the universe is sustained by the laughter of 100,000 Buddhas. And we look at all great religious and philosophic traditions, and if we look at the kernel of these traditions, it is the understanding, as we find in the Psalms, for example, God who laughs at his creation, who overcomes limitation through forgiveness and joy. We see this also in the inner rapture of the Sophia figure in the Coptic text. Sophia, the female symbol of the Divine Mother, sings to the heavens after she swims in the worlds of sadness and sorrow. And so we as a planetary humanity must recognize at the United Nations, we're beginning to recognize the existence of other realms of intelligence that ultimately, as the cosmic cultures will interact with the human race, this interaction, I feel, must be the laughter of the gods, must be a positive exchange of where we are in the universe as a humanity waking up to our unbelievable gifts of great creativity, what scientists call the non-local aspect of consciousness that pervades all things, and the recognition the divine spark is within every form of life. And in sharing this communication with the higher creation, with the human creation, with that within our body, we realize we are the temple of understanding. We are micro forms of divine light. We are embryo gods waking up to take possession. And we take possession through happiness, through joy, through laughter. And this is the song eternal. It is connecting the different civilizations like musical notes, each having their own form of joy with a sense of cosmic oneness, cosmic embellishment of thinking in technicolor, in the wide variety of life, but sustaining that with a sense of joy which comes through laughter, not only as the best medicine for the soul, not only as the best medicine for the mind, but laughter as a way that the divine beings called the Elohim in the West, called the avatars in the East, sustain themselves through the breath that springs eternal.
Damn.
He's an assassin, dog.
Thank you very much.
He's a killer, bro.
That's
oh
wild.
my God.
That was all off the top too, you know. That was just like, hey, JJ, give us a little something, and he was just like, okay, well, all right. You know, I feel like that wasn't planned. That was just some kind of channeling.
Dude, thank you for playing that, man. You make my eyes water a little bit. That shit gets me pumped. That's why I listen to that in between my playlists, because I hear that and I'm just like, yes. Like,
It's poetry.
to the layman, to the normal person, that might not sound okay. He's using a lot of words, but like to me and you, or to anybody who can access those thought forms, that is wild to speak like that. That's divine poetry, cosmic poetry. He's talking about the interchange of culture between Earth and galactic civilizations, and that the foundation for this is joy, happiness, progress, eternal progress, and brotherhood as a galactic species, as a galactic federation. Like, and this exchange should be positive, not negative, like they're trying to sell in the media right now. Like they're a threat. They're here to kill you. They're here to take your kids. And you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
we'll get into that too. But you know what I mean? Like,
That's
he's
why it's the
describing the laughter. He's describing the higher brotherhoods, the brotherhoods that we're supposed to be a part of, and sisterhoods. Sorry, when I say the word brotherhood, I'm referring to the human race. It's just a term I use, but you know what I'm saying? Like, dang, that's beautiful, man. And like the way he's able to tie in aspects from different cultures, different traditions, different religions, and you know, point out that unifying theme in them. It takes a lot of skill to do that. I mean, he is a PhD linguist and he's studied ancient history throughout antiquity, but thank you for starting off with that. I'm pumped.
Right? It's almost like we don't need to go into it anymore. You know, mic drop at that. You know, end the podcast after that. I don't know how else we can top that.
He's an interesting character, man. JJ Hurtak. He's been on my radar for a long time.
Yeah.
Supposedly he got contact from a celestial personality. How verifiable is this? I don't know. How cool is this to talk about? Really cool. Does it have implications in reality? Yeah. And if you want to take that leap of faith and believe that he has got contact from celestial personalities, maybe you should take a second to read the information. I don't know. He's saying some wild stuff out there. I'm not going to go deep into the Hurtak rabbit hole now, but he's saying some deep stuff for the people. Go read it.
Well, that's the thing too. Like you mentioned, it's not even just the JJ Hurtak rabbit hole, because there's a lot of different rabbit holes you can go down, and ultimately it's the rabbit hole of yourself, and that's how you get in on the joke of God. That's how you get in on the inside joke of God. Is that you literally find out yourself, and you almost like you start to create alongside the joke. You start to write with God, and that's how you. Oh, lost my video for a second. That's how you. Oh damn. That messed me up. That messed up my thoughts.
Dude, it messed me up too. I was like, no.
God dang.
Not again. For all the viewers out there, we just went through an hour of technical difficulties for real.
Yeah, right. We just got it working now.
But you're talking, getting on the inside joke of God. And honestly, you stirred my spirit mightily when you said that. I've never heard it said like that. And to me, it was like cosmic revelation right there, brother, through your personality. Get in on the inside of joke of God. Fuck yeah.
I think that's
you're talking about, like, it's not just the keys of Enoch rabbit hole,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all the same joke. It's all the same way to laugh at this, and it's funny because we've all heard the thing, the cosmic joke, right? It seems like that, and it doesn't mean like a joke as in take it less seriously. It's not like a goofy joke. It's not like a goofy sense of humor, because humor comes in all different types of ways. But this is the most divine type of humor. This is like literally at the highest point. It almost seems like this life is a joke. And in the way that I interpret that, it's that everything that we think we are, our identity, our conditionings, the way we've been brought up, literally our DNA, the stuff that we've been kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Imprinted with in our DNA.
Okay. Conditioned.
Our general conditionings as a human being. That it's all kind of a joke. Like everything that we take so seriously in this life, the illusion of Maya, one may call it. It's not rooted in any sort of reality. It literally is a joke. Once you can get on the inside joke of God, once you can kind of know what's going on within yourself and kind of peek behind the scenes a little bit, then that's when you can start laughing. You almost start like dancing. There's different metaphors. There's laughter. Sometimes I like to say.
Thank you for pointing that out. Different metaphors.
Yeah, it's all the same. It's all different rabbit holes, different metaphors, but it's all the same thing. It's like literally everything most likely that you've been told is important in your life is not important. That's the essence of it.
Trigger alert.
It's true, man.
This shit's a joke. This shit ain't fucking serious. This shit ain't real. No, I understand what you're saying. And it's funny that we don't have the words to really pin down this kind of shit because we're kind of, barbaric, but,
barbaric,
as a race, as a society, as a human species. But I get what you're saying. Like comedy, Mark Norman. Hey, comedy. I love Mark Norman. Shout out to Mark. I don't know him, but that's the homie right there. Comedy, in certain texts, I can say it, it's your channel. On the Urantia book, they have a section about the celestial artisans, and there's like divine comedy, celestial comedy. I'm not talking about Dante, but that's for a different episode. Mm-hmm. The divine comedy, but I'm talking about celestial divine comedy. And comedy in the Urantia book, they say on a celestial level is meant to humble someone, is meant to, not let that ego get too big, to recognize how dumb it is to be so serious about things. Exactly. Because we're constantly progressing, we're constantly going forward, So like, we can laugh at how dumb we were when we were in high school because we thought this shit was cool, you know what I'm saying? But when we look back on it, we're like, damn, can you believe that? And then we see 14-year-old people doing it and we're like, dang, that's stupid. And we laugh at ourselves for being so naive. To me, that's comedy. And that's what you're describing to me, getting in on the inside joke of God, getting in on the inside joke of the universe, understanding that Earth is a training sphere. This is a classroom. We're here to learn lessons. That's it. Just keep piling on the lessons and with a smile and be good to everybody. There's no need to take yourself so dang seriously. You know, like this is a joke, man. Like if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Whatever. Laugh about it. Can you believe I was right? I thought I was right about that shit. Damn, that's crazy, dog. Man, life's a fucking trip. Keep moving forward. Don't like harden up and be like, oh my God, they're the enemy because they're calling me out because I'm wrong. You're taking it too seriously now, you know? And that's what we're going through in society with politics and stuff, which I really don't want to talk about and dive down. But you know what I'm saying? When you get hardened up and you start dividing yourselves because you're taking life too seriously. You're not taking it as a joke, you know? Mm-hmm. Another quote from the Urantia book, which is one of my favorite quotes. And it says that religious life must be balanced by humor, you know, humor and like, we don't have to be a Catholic church to stick up our ass. We can laugh a little bit. We can joke a bit. Jesus has a sense of humor, you know, God is a laughing God. We just listened to Hertak talk about the joy of God. So like we, as a society, we need to recognize that it's okay to have this joy. It's okay to be happy. It's okay to joke around. It's okay to not take yourself seriously, but to be serious about life, you know, because there's jokesters out there that use joking and comedy as a way to hide from life. And I really don't like that either. The guy who can only make butthole jokes, the guy who can only make dick jokes, but he refuses to look at his internal state of being, his immediate environment, you know? So like, yeah, we're advocating for joy and comedy, but you have to be smart. You can't let that bring you to a place where you start disregarding reality because you only joke. You only want to make butthole jokes. And don't get me wrong, people can make butthole jokes and it makes the group laugh. You can get pretty far making dick jokes. Then the group will be like, oh, that guy's funny. He's cool and you're quirky and everybody likes you. But if you're only doing that, and then when it comes to like celestial understanding, or when it comes to like mind, body, spirit progress, you're just devoid. You can't even start to think about that. So instead of thinking about that, you're going to be like, oh, that's stupid. It's fucking butthole. Everybody laughs, but guess what? You know? So like you can use comedy as a way to deflect and not look at the truth too. But we're trying to focus and hone in on that divine vein of comedy, right?
Divine vein. I like that. Yeah, comedy comes in all shapes and sizes. I was actually thinking about that the other night because I had a laughing fit at something, and it was so powerful. Like just, you know, those moments where you just get so engrossed in your laughter, like whatever happens, right? And you can't help but laugh. You know that? Like sometimes you can hold back your laughter and you're trying to hold it in, but there's some moments where you can't help but just this energy just flows out, right? And it feels amazing. So I was thinking about that. I was like, what is so special about that feeling, like in that moment, right? Of being so engrossed in laughter. And I think what makes it special, right, is that you can't fake it. Like there's something so special about laughter where it's genuine, that where it's circumstantial and it's like novel in the moment. Like I can't just make you laugh right now. I could try and tell a joke maybe, but that's getting into it. Like I could tell the joke and that would make you laugh, but that makes it circumstantial. What I'm trying to say is that like just from me, whatever, just existing in a way, being here, like if I would, so let me reverse and go like this. If I say
it's an art form.
Yeah, it's an art form, and it's a lot more. It's advanced, like it's an advanced way to examine the moment. It's almost like seeing behind the scenes of the material realm, and you get to see like the inner workings of God in a way when you can. You know what I mean? When you can
deep philosophical significance behind comedy.
Yeah, it's like you can see the writing behind the scenes of like what's just kind of at the surface level. If it's a good joke, if it's not a butthole joke, even though butthole jokes couldn't, you know what I'm saying? It couldn't.
You got me with that one though. Good job.
But laughter is like this. I can't just say, Deadrick, laugh right now.
Laugh.
It's not like that. I can't just say, audience, laugh right now.
Imagine how weird would that be.
It wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't even work. It's like you have to have like a special. It's almost like
another reason why robots will never be conscious.
Right? That's going down another rabbit hole. Go down like AI, and I like that. Save that though. Keep that. What was I gonna say though? I don't even remember what I was gonna say, dude.
You're saying laughter. Like, what is laughter? Like that? You can't just tell me to laugh. There's nuance. It's an art form, you know.
Yeah,
It's
I remember
complex.
my
It's
point, though.
advanced.
Damn, I think it's because
I'm gonna riff off you though. I agree.
Okay.
So like, I think there's certain thought forms and concepts that are divine in the universe. Okay,
Yeah.
like just we think thoughts in our mind, right? Human beings are like celestial antennas. So if you're staring at planet Earth and scanning every human being and scanning our thoughts, certain thoughts would be higher than others, I guess you could say. There'd be a hierarchy of thought forms. If you think higher thoughts, such as like, I'm going to be the best person I can be and help others do the same,
It's all
you're hitting
vibration.
a high thought form. Yeah, if you're hitting a low thought form, like, fuck all these niggas about money, I just want Jordans, I'm going to rob this fool. That's a low thought form. So like, I think these thought forms are existential. They exist whether or not I exist. They exist whether or not the planet exists. They actually exist in a cosmic scale. So there's cosmic thought forms that have existed before planet Earth. And these are called keys. And in order for you to like access the key or access the door, you need to pick up those thought forms. You need to think certain thoughts in order to progress through the cosmic classroom. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And like, the angels can pick up when you access that thought. Oh shit! Look at that. The angels are like, look at him. He got there, and you're digesting it, and you're like, oh, I like this thought. I'm going to start applying it. And they're like, yes, look at this guy's advancing. I think there is a myriad of thought forms. And remember, thought forms, they're not just logical thought forms. They come with emotions too. You think a thought, you feel an emotion. Think of your first breakup, like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
You're talking about comedy as not just butthole jokes and dick jokes, but like the advanced set or form of comedy. And I think that's a divine thought form. I think that thought form has existed since way before planet Earth, and we're just scratching the surface, And like when people laugh, when you're hysterically laughing, dude, I love that shit. When I'm with my homies and we're just, I wish you could, I can't wait.
It.
Yeah, we're going to meet up face to face. Believe it or not, people we have not yet. But you ask all my homies around here, they'll tell you D-Bake's always laughing. I like crying laughing, bro. I love crying laughing because in that state, you're just, life's good, And what is that? What is that? That must be a derivative of the cosmos, right? That must be a divine thought form that has existed before me, and I'm tapping into it,
Yeah. It's a vibration. I think you just like
Amen.
If you look at your body, like you said, like an antenna, you're getting some kind of signal through like the computation of words that somebody put, whether if it's a joke or if it's a circumstance where somebody like does something and something happens, whatever it is, you're getting some kind of vibration into your body that sees beyond just the material level happenings. That's what, if it's material level as in the words, like if I just say a word, the dog jumped, that's, there's nothing there other than like the imagery of a dog jumping. But what a joke does is it goes beyond the base level imagery and into like the symbolic meaning that is hidden in a way. And if right, and a good comedian knows how to like relate the behind the scenes symbolic meaning of the words beyond the face level value. And that's why comedians, if they're truly, like the greats, they're actually like masters. They're actually like spiritual masters that people don't.
Yes.
They're like saints in a way because they know how to like look beyond. They see beyond like the play that's happening here. This joke,
the facade,
the giant joke. Yeah, and they know how to relate like the inherent symbolic value that we all know is there, but not consciously. So they connect the dots because they have this other vision. And they can almost like see into the minds of others in a way and then connect the dots for us. And then when the dots are connected, I think almost literally like when the neurons come together in the brain, you start laughing. It's almost like it's like that energy connection is the laughing, right? It's crazy, man.
Dude.
Yeah. You have something to say?
No, I'm in awe right now. Teacher, keep preaching, dog.
Can I read this passage? Because it actually goes off of what we were talking about. I'm glad.
Hell yeah, dude.
It's pretty short, but just tune in and just take a gander into this. This is by Yogananda, the Second Coming of Christ. Just read this. A spoken word is composed of 3 vibrations: mental vibration, astral or energy vibration, and flesh vibration.
I was just gonna keep going. Triosophy.
Okay. Thus, the vibratory sound of an utterance, such as "Thou art peace," has behind it 1. The vibration of thought that initiates the act of will, the original cause of vibrations of energy and flesh that result in the word peace being uttered. So like the original energy, the original intention that, like you said, is like downloaded from the ethers that's out there, right? I lost my place. Okay. 2. The vibration of life energy sent by the will from the brain through the nerves to the vocal cords and tongue to allow the word peace to be spoken. So you download the energy and then the literal working out of the physical matter of the body to present that energy.
The software to the hardware.
Yeah, exactly. And 3, the physical movement of the vocal cords that produce the sound and the vibratory effect on the physical body and its environs. I don't know what that word is.
Like environment.
Yeah, and its environs created when the word peace is voiced. It's pretty simple, right? But the way that Yogananda put it is, it makes sense. It's a 3-step process, essentially. The Triosophy. It's the Trinity, man. First was the word.
Dude, that's why I was cracking up laughing when you were talking about before you read that. Shout out to Yogananda. I appreciate that knowledge. I'm fucking running with that shit.
Can I read one last paragraph and then we can get into it?
Oh, yeah.
It goes into it a little more. Vibration means motion, which keeps all manifestations, material, mental, or spiritual, in an elastic state, subject to change. All phenomena, solids, liquids, gases, sound, x-rays, visible light, life energy, emotions, intelligence are grosser or finer vibrating variations of the cosmic vibration of the Creator. So just visualize that. Everything, literally everything, has some kind of vibration. It's shaking, and it's either like slow and unordered, right? Grosser or finer. It's more so like, is it in tune with that cosmic vibration? When it's finer, it's like it's more orderly with that. When it's grosser, there's no order. I just picture like literal like atoms that they're just like chaotic. Literally, it's like chaos.
Are they aligning to that pattern or not?
Exactly. The grosser vibrations of matter are relatively fixed within a circumscribed range. The mind of a matter-bound individual attuned to the crimped vibrations of the material sphere also relatively fixed. It vibrates with limited power, but potentially the mind has infinite elastic power. No matter how much you stretch it, it will not break. By spiritual techniques that develop concentration and willpower and expand the consciousness, the matter-habituated mind is released from those constraints to vibrate at a finer rate, in tune with the astral and causal vibration of God's creative activity and ultimately with the Creator himself.
Damn. The God vibration, bro.
Exactly. This is the last line. This is the mic drop. One who knows how to use mind power can do anything. And I feel it, man. I feel it. So
that's strong right there. That honestly, I'm plagued by looking at reality through those thought forms, like the visions that we just had through those texts. That's how I analyze reality. But I understand that most people don't. So like it's hard for me to speak to that to people a lot of times because I'm thinking about cosmic starlight adapting my ATP and cellular divisions, and the next person's like, "Oh, did you see the game last night?" And I'm like, "Yeah,
yeah, man."
But that's trippy. Yeah. Okay, so damn, that was fire. I want to keep talking about cells and stuff. You're talking about like comedy, like how to craft that perfect joke. And that's what led you to read this quote with Yogananda describing Triosophy in a beautiful manner. And you know me, I talk about that shit all the time because I think it's the meaning of life right there. That's the legacy FHP. That's our mantra. That's our bread and butter. That's our gin and juice. I don't care what you want to call it. Mind, body, spirit, progress. It's all about mind, body, spirit, progress. We call this Triosophy, the study of reality and the universe through the lens of the mind, the body, and the spirit. So in order to perceive reality correctly, you need to look through all three lenses simultaneously. If one lens is distorted, the entire picture is distorted, if that makes sense. a good way to remind yourself how to think in this is obviously the mind, the body, and the spirit. I like to think of it as the thing, the meaning, and the value. If as a society we could all start thinking through these lenses, we would do much better. So let's talk about thing, meaning, and value perfectly. You just took a sip of the teacup, right? Let's do a little experiment. Let's analyze this through a triosophic lens point of view. What is the thing? I guess the physical aspect of it.
The cup or the tea?
Let's do cup.
Okay.
Cup would be like what? What is the thing? It's a cup. It's made up of matter, elements, particles, made up of ceramic, made up of clay. I guess just the physical aspect. It's a
certain material matter. Yeah, the certain atomic structure to whatever this is made out of, some kind of ceramic. Is that what you're saying?
Perfect. That's the thing, and we call it a cup. Technically, cup is where that's the borderline because it gets gray in between the thing and the meaning and the value. Once you hit a certain point, there's like a threshold gate. So the cup is the thing, but also that's the mental meaning because we call it a cup. You know, What is the meaning of the cup? Because we describe the thing is the cup, the elements. The meaning is it means that human beings have the ability to create the cup
and to use the cup. Yeah.
It means, evolution has happened to a certain extent on this planet where will creatures have opposable thumbs and we can fucking create tools such as cups.
We formed the cup out of nothingness. Like we said, this is cup. This is cup.
Yeah.
Like cavemen. Cup. And they're all around the fire like, cup.
Cup. Yes. So we know what a cup is. We see a cup, we're like, okay. It's a cup. We know what it is, right? And now, so we just addressed the thing and the meaning. So the physical and the mental aspect. Now let's dive into the spiritual aspect, the value. What is the value of the cup? Oh man, you could drink beer, you could drink water, you could carry liquid from point A to point B.
Nourishment.
Even with cheers. Think about cheers. When I go cheers to you, brother. And you're like, yeah, cheers. And that spiritual value, you're like, yeah. And that all comes from the thing and the meaning, And there's so much value, much value. So now you're starting to understand how to correctly address and analyze reality. And people don't go through those steps when they analyze anything.
And you can do that with literally anything that's in the universe, right?
Yes.
It's probably most effectively done on others and yourself. Right, that triosic view, more than just a cup. I mean, a cup is an example, and it's actually it's a crude example for anyone to truly understand what we're talking about. But when you can understand that within yourself and then within others and how you act with others, that's when it gets really powerful, right?
Exactly. And what's funny is, I brought this up because you were describing the joke and how comics can not only see that surface level facade, they can get like under it and see the symbolic value and use that. And some people don't see that, but it's there and they can use that. And to me, that's like they're using Triosophy like a fucking magician, They're seeing the thing, the meaning, and showing people other values that they've never seen. And it's funny, like there's a big market for this now because people don't think in a Triosophic point of view. So there's a lot of things they haven't thought of. So that and you can look at anything and just hit those 3 different points and
Yeah, man. It's really just the fact of, all right, so let me dive into that. It's like being able to see that anything, whether it's a word, whether it's a cup, whatever the concept is that's coming in, there's more than just the face value and meaning of the concept of like the dictionary meaning. There's different ways to interpret this reality, essentially.
Yes.
And it's like, that's it. It's just being able to see beyond the symbolic. Well, it's actually maybe seeing what the symbol stands for in other ways. It's not even like seeing beyond the symbol. It's like the symbol might have just different meanings. And that's language in a way.
Yeah, and then if you can compile all the different values and meanings of that one thing, now you're more capable of interacting with different social groups, different
Exactly.
Ethnicity is different,
That's
because
intelligence.
there you go. Wisdom.
Yeah.
Wisdom, the highest chakra from the Urantia book, the seventh adjutant mind spirit. Wisdom.
So wisdom, trying to find wisdom then, right? Is it being able to make connections, like see the relativity behind things and then truly drawing those connections? You know what I'm trying to say? It's like, what is wisdom? Is it, I don't know, man. What is wisdom? That's a tough one.
I would say wisdom is being able to see the spiritual value behind the things and the meanings.
Yeah, but then what does that mean, spiritual value? What is the spiritual value of something?
Well, we just explain it with a cup.
Yeah.
Like the value, like the cheers, and being able to, okay, so being able to bring like water from point A to point B. So wisdom would be like knowing that treating people, that honestly and genuinely wanting to help other people hit their potential. By you doing that, you make a mark in their life, because not many people genuinely do that to people. So like when I experience this in my everyday life, dog, I genuinely treat people like sons of God. They have thought adjusters. So when I genuinely reach out and be myself to them, I'm not stuck in this material, social, mental point of view, I'm nice to this person, I'm nice to that person. If I'm nice to the entire community, guess what? The community is going to show me love. The community is going to protect me from danger, because they're like, no, that's D-Bake. He's the shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I trust that more than me trying to defend myself. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And that's wisdom, because if I'm friends with everybody, I'm not doing it for a hidden agenda, because I genuinely know that, oh, wow, if I genuinely care about the 60 people on my tribe, guess what? The 60 people in my tribe are going to fucking care about me and defend me. That's wisdom. As opposed to this motherfucker like waking up in the middle of the night, like I need to steal something because I just need something from someone, They're not operating off of wisdom. They don't see the value, they only see the thing.
So it's an understanding. That's what I'm getting at. Or that's what I'm getting from you. It's like, it seems to be like a concrete understanding of things.
Of the algorithms behind the matrix.
Yeah, it's an understanding of the way of things here. Like there is a certain way. Like wisdom is like truly being wise, and being able to convey wisdom is understanding the order here, like that flow of energy. There's a way to orient ourselves here. And wisdom is understanding that way. So where do you think that understanding comes from? Like experience? Because one can convey wisdom, right? But does that really create wise figures, or where does wisdom, would you say, come from?
Wisdom comes from, again, that focalizing of the triosophic, those three energies, the mind, body, spirit, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, focalizing those three energies. Yeah. Because remember, reality cannot exist unless it's through those three lenses. The Trinity is existential to the universe. The universe was created through the Trinity. So if you don't look through those three lenses, you're now looking at reality distorted. This is a foreign concept to us. We think linearly, just one. This is the way it is. No, you need to think in threes. Triosophy, thinking in threes. Jim, what did you say? I was addressing a specific point you said. Oh, how do we get there?
Yeah, like what makes somebody wise? Is it through understanding?
Okay, yes. What makes someone wise? Yeah, it's through understanding that those three lenses at the same time. That's it. Like we're so distorted down here. People either lean into one of these categories. They're either more physical, mental, or spiritual, And like, so from our point of view, what's normal is a distortion. So like, how does one become truly wise? They study those three. They study those three things, and you're going to see people who only fall into one of those categories. It's going to be distorted, is what I'm trying to say. I don't need to get into it.
Yeah. So let's think of archetypes of a person. This is like obvious generalization, stereotypes of somebody that would fall into either one of the 3 points, right? So somebody that's too physical. I'm picturing like a macho, weightlifting, all about the body, the go, 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 very masculine oriented attitude, right? Just about action. There's no heart there. Kind of like Kratos from God of War. You know what I mean?
I was
Like,
gonna say, think of a young Marine that just graduated boot camp
yeah,
and has been brainwashed to kill. That's it.
gotcha. So then we go into the spiritual.
Guru hippies.
Yeah, like the hippie, like they're just lost in the ethers. They're just,
There is no meaning of life. You're
Yeah.
perfect just the way you are.
mm-hmm. And then what would be the other one?
Mental, scientific
Oh, yeah.
thinking.
Yeah, totally. The cliche, like, Silicon Valley guy might be on the
Yeah,
spectrum.
the fat tech guru or the fat philosopher, one of the
Yeah,
two.
all rationale, all logic. That's it. That's what run. Almost like a computer. Like picture just like even just if you just picture a computer, actually, just like the actual computation of binary, like that.
An engineer.
Yeah, yeah,
Shout out
So
to my
those-
engineers. Sorry, I'm not fucking. We're not hating right now.
yeah. And you know what the thing is? Like looking at that triosophy, I think that triosophy is almost like a triple spectrum that we all have within ourselves. Because obviously those are just
Yes.
generalizations and stereotypes that we just outlined. But I think we all have a little bit of that spirit within us. But I think a true wise human being is somebody that has all three of those and knows how to execute on all three of those energies. And from there, yeah, you just flourish.
Thank you for the compliment. They call me Deadrick the Wise. I teach mind, body, spirit progress at the Legacy. That's what it's about. Daily progress of the mind, body, spirit. Daily progress of the mind, body, spirit. Lifelong progress of the mind, body, spirit. Having a routine set up, working out every day, reading something every day, and then going out there and experiencing reality face to face through trial and error and seeing if it works and interacting with human beings. That's how I live my life, dude. And I feel real fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
My day has been split up into 3 sections. And if I don't hit a mind, body, spirit, I call it a circuit. If I don't do a full rotation through my mind, body, spirit, I feel dysfunctional. I feel weird, dude. I can't go to sleep. Like,
Yeah.
if I, if I listened to some spiritual teachings, read something, or if I had a long spiritual conversation with somebody, if I went to work and figured out cameras and had to set up this new camera that I've never fucking touched before, but I figured it out. I did my mental and spiritual work, but if I didn't work out that night, guess what, bro? Like, I'm at night like a crackhead, like, oh, I need to get the crack. I didn't do it yet. And so I fucking bust out a workout, Or if I work out and I only did cameras and I didn't get that spiritual fix, I'm like a crackhead again. I need to fucking, like, I program my DNA day in, day out. If I don't hit that mind, body, spirit circuit, I feel dysfunctional.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I think wisdom lies. I hope from listening to this video that you also apply it to our listeners. I'm not trying to, toot my own horn, but Triosophy is the shit, bro. That's the way to go. If you're not looking at it through that lens, you're fucking up, dog. That's it.
Plain and simple.
Yeah. But you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
like,
man.
you got to cover all your bases. Like, okay, this is such a crude example. You've heard me say it before. I might have even said it on your podcast. I don't know. From a really crude example, as a guy, you want to get the girl. Some girls are like, I want a really, jacked guy. I want a guy with a nice body, or some girls are like, I want the smart guy. I don't care about his muscles, or some girls are like, I want the spiritual guy. Like, those guys are dumb, like, as a guy, you shouldn't give the girls a reason not to pick you, fool. Work out, be the smart fool, and be the spiritual guy. So when the girls think, they're like, dang, this guy is physically fit, he's smart, and he knows spirituality, I gotta choose him,
Yeah.
Like, it's such a crude example, and I'm sorry to use the female male courting relationship as an example, but you can just extrapolate that to anything, like,
Exactly.
you should want to portray and exhibit the highest in mind, body, and spirit if you really want to mate with what you want to mate with. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we can all relate to that. We all have a sex drive, and the same thing in women too. It goes the same way, we all just want a balanced person. And I guess this is the Triosophy is the template for becoming balanced and connected with God at a level that ensues also like a sense of action in the world. Like you're not just like connected kumbaya way, but you're also like putting forth God's plan, into the world. That's what I think it seems to instill. Like you do the work of the meditation, you read the sutras or whatever, you read the Urantia book, whatever it is, you do the meditation, and then, you work out the body, you take care of the temple, right? Those are the two bottom layers of the pyramid, and then the top one is to put that into action and to, go out into the world and actually be an actor out there, but act from that vibration, act from that pure vibration. That's what it seems like to me. And that's how I interpret that, man. And that's how I live my life the same way. It's like create that foundation. I almost like picture the pyramid, right? Is the bottom layers of the pyramid are the meditation and taking care of the body. They go hand in hand. And then the top one is like with that good foundation. That's how you build the top layer. And then you do it to be that figure into the world for others. But you do it even without attachment. Like you don't do it with ego. That's another thing too. It's not like, look at me, I meditate, I worked out today. Like, no, it's not even like that. It goes beyond one wanting to do that. It's just like becomes something natural. It just becomes like you just become the Triosophy in a way. Even the more you try to become it, I think it actually is counterintuitive. It just flows in one's life, not because that you want to, but because, like you said, man, you feel off if you don't. Like if you don't, it's almost like a drug. It's not really, because that's a crude way to say it, but
jokes, baby, jokes, comedy,
jokes, LOL, man. It almost is. It's like you have to, like, in a way, it's a lifestyle, man. Tapping into God, tapping into that creative energy through the Trinity. There's no other way to live. Any other way to live is not a way to happiness and peace and a sense of flow in this life. If we really want to flow and find that peace, it's to tap in that way. And I guess that's the way to tap in, man. I like it. It's a good way to live, man. That's why I like talking to you, man, because it's tried and true. Because there's this, like we said, there's some archetypes in our society where it's a little too much spiritual. It's like, is that really the way? Like, it doesn't feel right. And then some people that are too much, they just want to lift weights or like be the material, the go attitude, the really masculine. It almost seems like a blend for me between the masculine and the feminine energies.
Yes.
And then when you balance the masculine and feminine, it becomes like another layer of action between that, right? That's what it seems like to me.
And what happens when a masculine, a male and a female come together? They procreate, a third thing gets created,
Yeah, exactly.
A child.
Yeah.
The Trinity. You get those boom, 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 that trifecta.
That's the template.
That's
As above, so below.
Yep, that's a fucking template, dog.
Yeah, man.
Don't cancel me. So what I'm saying is, I got a lot to say right now. So I'm going to drop a couple things on you, but let's just keep vibing with it.
Mm-hmm.
Da Vinci understood this. Da Vinci understood the Trinity, and he incorporated this into his daily routine. Da Vinci is one of my top 3 role models in life, and me and Gary are going to have a Da Vinci series coming soon. Keep an eye out for that.
Come soon.
Just to put some pressure on ourselves, because Da Vinci's a shit, and we both got this book we're going to read. Just subscribe. You'll hear when it comes out.
Think like Da Vinci.
Not only to mention Da Vinci. Damn, I had another point. I totally forgot. But yeah, Da Vinci. Da Vinci's a shit. I had another point.
Well, you were saying that Da Vinci understood the Triosophy. That's all I remember. I think the marijuana's getting to our short.
I remember. No. Needed the fucking hit. No. Yeah. So Da Vinci, we're making a series about that coming soon. From the Urantia book. Actually, shout out to Derek, my brother Derek. You just had Derek on. I watched that entire podcast. Shit was legit. Bringing that planetary history, magnifique.
I'm pretty impressed with the whole thing because that was pretty dense.
Yeah, very intense, and we gotta set up a time to hash it out too, because there's a lot of points that I want to get in there too. There's a lot of points that I feel like are important too. But this fool, Derek Samara, Spirit of Truth. He's a killer, dog. He's a killer. And that's my brother. I mean, yeah, we're brothers outside of this Urantia book. That's why I brought him up. I listened to it. Good podcast, dude. Go listen to that shit, people. Come on now. From the Urantia book, it states that in order to make most efficient contact with a thought adjuster, you need to have your mind, body, spirit in complete peak optimum shape. Does that make sense?
This is getting into another layer of that, of the balance, of the triosophy.
Of the triosophy, exactly. And, riffing off what my brother was talking about, we have to remember that we have very specific and nuanced lineage genetically, DNA lineage, okay? And this DNA, our personality, what you see on camera, Deadrick and what Gary, like our beings, our personalities, they are called vehicles. These vehicles, my body is a physical vehicle, my mind is a mental vehicle, and my spirit and my feelings on the inside and my morals and the wisdom is a spiritual vehicle. So we have 3 vehicles for cosmic experience, like what you're saying. So like, if you want to experience reality correctly, if you want to experience the highest cosmic reality that is available to humankind, you must understand how you're interfacing with this reality. And this interface, our personality, is made up of a mind, a body, and a spirit. I say it so much because it needs to be drilled into people's heads. You are a mind, a body, and a spirit in conjunction. This is your personality vehicle. It's not one vehicle, it manifests in 3 different ways. Your complete vehicle is a mind, body, spirit. So like, this vehicle carries a divine light. Like what Hertak said in his video, we all carry a divine spark, the divine spark. And this divine spark is, I might refer to it as a thought adjuster, an overself, or a higher self. But you, if you're hearing this right now, if you're watching this, if you're looking into our eyes right now, you have a divine spark within you. You don't have to go out far and seek it. You don't have to watch YouTube videos, but thanks for watching the YouTube video to go find it. It is within you. If you want to express this divine spark, I'll give you a hint. It is through Triosophy. It is understanding that you are a mind, body, spirit vehicle. And if the divine spark wants to express itself, it needs the best vehicle to express itself.
Yeah.
So God is available to you right now, bro. But you need to shimmy. You need to move your hips, dog. You need to get that mind, body, spirit right. So the hips don't lie,
Amen, man. The more I examine myself, I don't see me per se as what the camera is showing and what the microphone is picking up. The more that I see me as just like a membrane that energy passes through. I'm just like, there's something, it's like, it's not really external, but the way that I can convey it right now, like there's this external light, energy, vibration that's always out there, right? And then it's up to me to be able to tune into that. And tuning into that, like you said, it's the thought adjuster, the guru, whatever it is. Once you tune into that, you get almost like the help of that. And that, but first you have to earn the help. That's the thing. It's like first, you said we're a vehicle. You have to be like, it's like, all right, does God want to drive a Camry or does he want to drive a Ferrari? God's gonna pick the Ferrari. You know what I'm saying?
I can't believe you just said that shit.
You know what I'm saying, though, right?
I know exactly.
So you got to make yourself the Ferrari. And
Amen.
That's the thing too. Is like, well, it's not even like you make yourself the Ferrari. It's that like you put yourself in the mindset of the Ferrari, and then you get the Ferrari from God.
Yes.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Right.
It's like you I mean, I don't know how much more I can go into the metaphor of us being like cars, but it's like you save up enough money for the Ferrari and then you buy it and then you get to drive it around. That's the I mean, that was another crude metaphor, but it's like the idea that we have a helper. There's something that you can tune into. First, you have to make the choice to tune into it by taking care of the triosophic, is that the word? Triosophic relation within yourself, and then boom, it tunes in to you, and then it almost is like it helps, you know. It's like that's when the play starts. That's when you can write the joke of God. That's when you earn it in a way. You almost become knighted, you become anointed. And then from there, it's this constant relationship with whatever that is, that divine force. And there's no other way. You can't, once you know you can tap into that, like what else do you need? I don't need anything in this material world. Nothing is going to satisfy what I am finding myself out to be. You know what I mean? Because the more that I'm finding myself out to be a membrane, the more a membrane. Just funny to like visualize that. But
an interstellar membrane.
An interstellar membrane. The more that I visualize myself as that, the more it actualizes. But then I become like a more fluid membrane for that energy to come through, and it's this like back and forth relationship. Even though it's really not, it's all one. That's what you can kind of realize is there's no back and forth. It's really, we're always connected to this one light. It's just up to you, that inner discernment, that first step that Yogananda said, that's where it comes in. And that's why it's important to have the Triosophy, so that we can, once you establish that within yourself, that's when you can take that first step of the vibration of the words that you tell yourself and the words that you tell other people. That's the power of the Triosophy, man, is you get this like power, you know, Super Saiyan mode, final form, where you can literally create this
I'm about to go Super Saiyan mode. I need to go piss, dog. I'm sorry.
A few moments later.
Dude, that picture you put in my mind is beautiful. Like, it's not, the energy isn't changing. That divine source is flowing through us. We're just kind of like juggling it and trying to figure out how to hold it correctly, right?
Yeah.
Like if you picture like a stream coming in and like some mechanical device like a dam trying to like figure out the best way to angle the stream. That's all we are. We're just trying to catch the light and figure out how to perceive it correctly. The light doesn't really change, but that interstellar membrane that allows the cosmic starlight to flow through. And then we kind of like process and refine the starlight. We
tune to it. You either tune to it or you don't. That's the thing. You're either tuned in to God or you're living in chaos. You're living in fallacy. You're living in Lucifer's world, which isn't even a world. It's just chaos. There's no semblance of order. You're either, at this point, you're either orderly or disorderly. And I know only a Sith deals in absolutes, but there's no other real way that I can describe that. You're either tuned into the light or you're tuned into the noise. It's pretty simple, man.
It is.
Through the I can't say it. Through the Triosophic method, is that it? The Triosophic.
The Triosophic method.
Through the Triosophic method, that's how one attunes to the greater order. And that's peace, that's happiness. Because I think really what it comes down to, man, it's like we all are struggling human beings here. You know, we live a faulty experience. And it's like, well, how are we going to get through this day to day, right? All of us, we're all going through shit in our lives, whatever it is. If you're not right now, then you're probably going to, or you have been. We've all been through it. And we don't want to do that anymore, right? Like there's got to be a way that we don't suffer, right? For me personally speaking, the greatest way that I've found not to suffer is through this Triosophic method, is to be able to tap into God and to tap into that order, and to not only just tap in, but to become orderly with said God or said divine force, and to fall into line with that force. I found that there's no greater bliss. There's no greater desire, if you want to use desire or want. That's it, man.
Yeah,
that's
urge, driving force.
Yeah. God is simple. We overcomplicate it. But it's really just like you have to, I don't even know if want's the right word, but you have to like, yeah, I guess want. You have to.
Yeah, desire.
Yeah, you have to, like if we are desire, right? That's the Buddhism 101. Desire and attachment, and that leads to suffering. So if you really desire anything else, in my opinion, other than God, then you're going to suffer. So,
yeah, if you only desire one of the triads, one point in the triad.
Yeah. When God is the triad.
Yes.
God isn't just the spiritual aspect of meditation.
Nope. It's not just the physical aspect, material, cars, clothes, hose. You know?
The masculine or the feminine. It's the blending between the two.
That 3. You want to know
Impact.
who else said thinking in 3s?
What's that?
Nikolai Tesla.
Yeah.
3s, 6s, and 9s.
Yeah, he said that holds like the secret to the universe, which I don't
Fucking
know what that
weird,
means.
huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We'd have to dive into that a little bit more. We should save that for another one, like a Tesla.
Oh no, not yet. I'm not trying to talk about that yet either. It's just an interesting note up there.
Mm-hmm.
That is interesting. And can you imagine that? Could you imagine? Okay, so that's one thing I wanted to talk about is how Earth is a potential member of the Galactic Federation. We are potentially cosmic citizens. I'm going to use Star Trek as an example because that's currently what we can think of and fathom. That's our pop culture as a crude example. But think of standing up for Starfleet and going on missions to space and shit like that. I guess though, we know, if you haven't listened to it, go listen to Derek Samaras. Was it 112 with Gary?
Yeah, 112, I think.
We are a species going through successive levels of planetary evolutions called planetary epochs or planetary dispensations, planetary eras, whatever. Different levels throughout our history. We have had celestials land on our planet in successive stages in order to upstep and uplift our species. Eventually, our planet will get to a point where we hit a higher level than where we currently are now. On a normal planet, this is normal. On a normal planet, when the single cell evolves up into man and they get their first angel that lands on their planet, that angel doesn't rebel. That angel teaches the people, and everything's bread and butter. Next angel lands, perfect. Next angel lands, perfect. Everything's perfect. The humans are like waking up every day, and on our news, it's the angels saying, this is what it is. This is how you need to do it. Triosophy, mind, body, spirit classes every single day. Show up and everybody's fucking just killing it. Superhuman, you know?
Yeah.
That didn't happen on our planet because the first angel that landed decided to rebel. He decided to take the planet over for himself. We're not going to go into it. They go into it a lot more on the other episode. Can you imagine on our planet right now, because that didn't happen on our planet, because we don't have celestial administration on our planet and we're set back, like the Urantia book says, we're set back 4 epochs.
What's an epoch? A long time.
An epoch is the measurement between celestial landings.
Oh.
So
Okay.
we have had 5 celestial or epochal revelations. We've had Prince Caligastia and the staff. We've had Adam and Eve. We've had Melchizedek. We've had Jesus. And then the Urantia book was the 5th epochal revelation.
Yeah.
But on a normal planet, we should have been a lot more advanced by now. So what I'm trying to say is that we're behind. We're behind about 4 epochal revelations. So
which is about like 500,000 years.
Yeah, that would be
that
actually
was the span between
exquisitely accurate. 500,000 years. Yes.
So we're behind 500,000 years, but that's just a number to throw out there.
Oh yeah, a rough time scale. So by now, I guess our planet should be in like the light and life era. This is highly controversial subject in the Urantia community. So if anybody's a Urantia book reader doesn't believe that, leave a comment. That's fine. But yeah, by this time, supposedly a lot of people think we should be in a very advanced state of civilization, and we are not. We're kind of a hodgepodge mismatch of technology and failed spiritual shit, whatever. Welcome to Earth 606. Can you imagine if you woke up? If you woke up in the morning and when you walked out your door and you saw another human being, the feeling in your spirit was, yeah, another human being. I'm going to help him hit his potential today. I'm going to help him hit his mind, body, spirit potential today. I'm going to do this because I know that human being is thinking the same thing when he looks at me. That human being is looking at me in the morning and it's like, oh shit, another human being I can hit my potential with, you know? Like, we're all in this together. We're all on planet Earth together. We wake up. How are we going to do this? How are we going to get better today, bro? How are we going to fucking live better today? How are we going to eat better today? How are we going to fucking kill? How are we going to make the music better? How are we going to...
You're saying this is an alternative planet, an ideal alternative planet?
I'm saying imagine when that happens to our planet, because we will hit this epochal dispensation. I think it's happening now through us.
Gotcha, yeah.
So like, can you imagine Triosophy being the main fundamental principles on planet Earth? You know,
It should be.
that's what I'm saying. I think eventually we will get to that point, but bless the gods, thank the gods. We got born right into the perfect time frame where it wasn't hot yet and it's about to get hot. And now we get the opportunity to, you know, put our thumbprint on the process. So it's like, I'm stoked that we get to be a part of this process of ushering our planet into the Triosophic age, into the new age, ushering new Earth, you know? So like, it's time, baby.
Isn't
Wake
that what
up,
makes
bro.
it special? That we fell so far and now we're coming back into who we should be. Like the remembrance of that essence is what makes it special. Like it almost seems like
What's the difference between boot camp and Navy SEAL training?
the intensity of the training, like how hard it is. Yeah.
That's what the fuck we are, dog. This
Yeah.
is Special Forces Assessment Selection. This is the gutter. This is the hard shit. We're not on a normal planet going through the normal easy shit.
Yeah, so that almost seems like on purpose from God in a way, because if it was like a regular planet, then yeah, we're just in Army basic. Like we know the drill. We didn't really
Yep.
harden up. We didn't learn our lessons. But being a human being, it seems like, yeah, we're like the Navy SEAls of the
There you go.
celestial, because we had to go through the shit. We had to go through the gutter. But the
Yes.
question is, right? It's like, do we have to go through the gutter? Because if
No.
inevitably it's the same destination per se of joining up with the galactic fleet, being peace and love and living in this Triosophic way of life, in order to get that Triosophic, do you have to go through some kind of Luciferian dark rebellion to learn? Or is that just one way to do it? Or it's just a lot smoother to go the other way, and either way it's the same destination. It's like either way, both roads lead to love. They lead to the creator. So like the metaphor of the Navy SEAL and the Army person would apply if we have a different destination than somebody that would be on a regular planet, you know?
Very perceptive, very perceptive. And this is true. You are a wise person. Very, very great insight. So I'm going to speak in bigger terms right now because I don't really want to do a lot of background explaining. I'll try to keep that to a minimum. But yes, there is a difference in status when you graduate a planet that has been rebellion tested. So like a planet like Earth, that's not like normal celestial administration, aka the Navy SEAL training down here. Mm-hmm. What would be the difference between Navy SEAL training and another planet of Army basic if we're all the same destination, right? Yeah. I guess when you go through a planet that has been rebellion tested, aka a planet that has been in rebellion, one of the angels went in rebellion. You get a title, and the title is called Agundanter. It's called Agundanter status. Mm-hmm. And Agundanter status means that you kind of get like a medal, like a military medal, or like a medal of honor, and forever you are distinguished. We actually get special once we complete our journey to the center of the universe. Once we star hop to the center of the universe, because that's what we're doing, planet hopping through lifetimes. Once we reach the Father, we're going to reach the Father with beings from other planets too, who weren't in rebellion tested spheres. We will reach the Father at the same time. Mm-hmm. When we reach the Father, he's going to give us more mission orders. Obviously, he's going to expand our mind, body, spirits to the point where we can't fathom, but he's going to give us more orders to go back out into the universe and to, different missions, cosmic operations. But the Agundanters get assigned special missions due to pretty much like we go to rebellion sectors to fix and salvage rebel sectors of the universe because we're tested. Point B is experience is the most valuable commodity in the universe. So like if there is ever a rebellion anywhere in the universe, and there's only been a rebellion, I guess, 2 other times in the universe, and the universe has been old I can't put a number on how old the universe is, So like it doesn't happen very often. When this happens, the higher ups will put out a call throughout the universe saying, hey, who has experience with this shit? And whoever has the experience, that's the most valuable person in the universe. and they'll trade beings throughout sectors. So it's not a monetary economy, it's an experience-based economy. So you're more valuable if you have more experience, you know? So they'll put out like a bat signal, like, hey, everybody who's been through the rebellion sphere, we need you. And we can raise our hands. Therefore, we're the most valuable, and they'll put us in a position, you know?
Interesting. So in a way, then we don't have the same destination, because it seems like from that point of view, human beings are destined to become this Bodhisattva figure, almost like we're angels in training.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that means in a way we are like Navy SEALs, because yeah, we're going to be undercover on these other planets, which we already might be.
That's okay. Bringing it back to our last episode, alien agents from the future, secret agents from the future. We said them both, but that's, I mean, you never know, man. What if we were already fucking, you know, sent here for that very being, for that very mission? You don't know. It's something fun to play around with.
Would you, so hypothetically, if this were to happen, most likely they would have to erase your memory, because if you knew that that was the mission, I don't know. You'd have to know.
No, that's how it works.
So these Bodhisattva
they mind wipe you.
They mind wipe. Okay. But there has to be like a kernel of remembrance, right? Like there has to be something from your last incarnation. And maybe that's why the last incarnation, the rebirth, is so important, because in order for one to become reborn and be this like figure that is like it helps others, they have to do it to be able to relate to the others on the planet, but there has to be a knowing, a wisdom that is somewhere ingrained from that last lifetime.
Yeah, from my understanding of this, you're saying what?
I was gonna say the triosophic way to tap in is to tap in almost to that like essence, to that the last lifetime, like the lessons that you learned that you thought got mind wiped, but if you tap into that force, that current, you can kind of like tap into the essence that we're talking about, which is the Navy SEAL training from previous lives.
Yeah, that previous template life pattern that's ingrained into our consciousness. Yeah, because the mind, body, spirit progress is the quickest, most efficient way to tap into your thought adjuster, and your thought adjuster is the one that has the previous experiences from other planets. If you bulk up your mind, body, spirit, I feel like, yeah, that'd be the easiest way to access that pre-life pattern template that exists.
Yeah.
I see a lot of things in my mind right now. I don't know which one to address. I'll just start off with okay, so you have a thought adjuster, and the thought adjuster can travel through planets, and it's pretty much your body is like a garment or a shell for a thought adjuster. Your thought adjuster puts on some clothes for a bit, and that's you, your body. Then you drop your clothes off and then zoom off to another planet. And when I say thought adjuster, I mean a ball of light. Picture a ball of light, an over self, a higher self, the Buddha, the guru, whatever you want to call it. That's the divine light inside of us. When we die, it'll go off, but it carries our consciousness. I know a lot of your Entropic readers might have some contention with this, but it could be possible for, yes, an advanced type of personality from a higher planet to get sent here to our planet for the mission of upstepping the planet. But there is red tape, there are ramifications, there are prerequisites. One of the prerequisites is that in order to change the spiritual economy of a planet, in order to assert yourself within the arena of a planetary system such as Earth, you need to earn this ability. You can't just land on a planet and start calling shots. You need to live as one of the beings, understand the experience, and when you understand the experience, you earn the right to call shots, such as Jesus did. He was born as a baby. He earned the right to to change the spiritual economy of the planet. He didn't just land as the sovereign Michael and say, fucking do my will, you know? Mm-hmm. He had to qualify himself through the experience of the person. So putting those two thoughts together, that high adjusters could come through on the planet Earth, and that you have to qualify yourself in order to call shots while on the ground. You could see why a mind wipe kind of makes sense, right? Like if they're going to, like, say your ranch is in distress, there's a possibility where they could default, where the rebels could win. Can we send adjusters from high types of planets, aka star seeds, to their planet? They're going to mind wipe because they can't show up on the planet with all their knowledge, because you're not earning it, you know? You have to mind wipe as a baby, live a life, and anything could go wrong. Anything could fucking go wrong. Trust me. I mean, we've probably both been through some shit, dog. I've been through some shit. I've been through a lot of situations that I fucked up. Yeah. But that's because, like, you're a baby, you're a human, and you're learning how to do this shit. Like, I guess if you're a starseed sent here, or if you're a high adjuster sent to our planet, there is a chance where you could default. There is a chance where you might not complete your mission. So, like, we could have signed up for the mission before this, knowing that there's a chance we might not complete the mission because Earth is so crazy, you know, and you land here and there's because we mind wipe, we could have faltered. And I don't want to go through my past, but there are some experiences in my past where it's like, holy shit, Deadrick, you didn't have to go through that shit. You know, like, why were you going through that? And I could have easily gone down a different path instead of this path. So, like, when I see other, like, drug addicts, when I see other gangsters, when I see other people falling in the slumps, I understand that those could be high beings who got caught up in the mix, because it's hard down here on planet Earth, you know? But that is the risk we sign up to take when coming here, you know? And if you prevail, if you can make it past the age of 25, 30 without seriously fucking up and damaging your entire life, and we wake up like me and you did, now we have the ability to usher in, to kind of manipulate the spiritual economy, which is what we're doing now through these videos. We earn the right to make these videos through our lives.
You have to earn it here on Earth. And that's what makes you pass the Navy SEAL training.
Exactly. Yes, and we down here, bro. And forever when we die, bro, up in the stars, I'm gonna look next to you and be like, fuck yeah, Gary, give you a handshake. We did that shit. Remember on planet Earth, bro? You're behind enemy lines still making videos, fool.
That's wild. It is wild to think about. I'm definitely behind enemy lines, though, for sure. Yeah. I mean,
but yeah, I gotta go in like a couple minutes.
Yeah, bro. I mean, we could keep going.
Yeah, we're 100 episodes, million episodes. You already know the deal.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't even know how to end this thing. That was we all got a job to do, I guess. You know, being a human is a little bit more than we thought, and we all have something to do here, but it might not be what we've been told to do. Pretty much. You know, we all have a job here to do the will of a greater force, but there's no better way to live, in my opinion. You know, once you learn how to serve the Triosophic force that is within all of us, there's no other way. The way is the way.
This is the way. To quote Mando.
Yeah, man. All right, well.
Hell yeah, bro. That was awesome, dude. I love fucking. Yeah. I mean, we chat every weekend, but I love doing an episode, doing a real episode. This is fucking awesome. I appreciate it. Sorry for everybody for swearing. I hope you can see through all the negativity, quote unquote, the toxic speaking, and see the truth. I know I don't have to say that, but I'm just trying to disclaim it because I know people out there are weird.
I don't believe in swears. I don't believe in swears. It doesn't make any sense.
Well said. That's it. I don't believe in swears.
If somebody says a swear in Chinese right now, I'm not gonna know what to swear.
Damn.
So you know what I mean? It's like
for real.
It doesn't exist. It exists to somebody that knows the language, I guess. But it's like how you use the language is what I'm trying to say. Because somebody in Chinese could be yelling at me, but he could be saying really nice things in the language, and he could be speaking. It's all about like summing this whole thing up. It's like it's about the intention behind the vibration of the word. Ooh. You know, it's like the resonance. It's more than just the symbolic meaning of the word. And I think
the way Yogananda put that shit was crazy.
This is full circle. It's full circle.
For real.
It's all about the intention, man. But yeah, this was cool. Definitely fun. We should do it more often. Go down the rabbit hole and stuff.
Yeah,
and
I got a lot of rabbit holes I just chose not to dive into. Yeah.
yeah, time constraints. But yeah, let's definitely do this regularly and have some fun with it. And yeah, I was gonna say something else too. Yeah,
We'll
without the
get that Da
technical
Vinci shit
difficulties.
popping.
Yeah, I think we should dive into the Da Vinci thing, and then also we should have a Nikola Tesla episode, like dive into like the 369 and his like philosophies behind that, and
Ooh,
go a little bit more into that because he was a philosopher as well.
yes, dude. Hell yeah. That's what
Yeah.
I'm talking about. Fuck yeah. I'm going duck hunting right now, dude. How about that?
Well, good luck.
I'm
with
leaving
that.
in 30 minutes to go duck hunting in Arkansas.
That's a vibe. Go from this convo to a hunting ducks.
Dude, to talk about mind, body, spirit circuit.
We're living life, man. Hey, we live a very unique and beautiful life. So just take it in, man. This is it's an opportunity of a lifetime. I know that sounds very cliche. That sounds kind of corny, but like it really is, man. Like compared to most other people in the world, our lives are quite unique here. Quite unique to say the least. So
Hell
just
yeah,
take it
dude.
in.
We're living like kings.
We really are, man. We really
He got the Knights Templar on his chest. Watch out. The Inquisition coming soon. All right, I'm going to get out of here. I got to get ready. I love you guys. Debake the Wise on Instagram. Legacy FHP on YouTube. I just changed my handle to Planetary HQ. So Legacy is now officially Planetary headquarters for your celestial information.
I like it.
Triosophy. Gary, Lee,
Wow.
Haskins, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Till death.
Peace,
All
man.
right, bro.
Good luck.
I
with
love
the
you,
ducks.
man. Yeah, I'll
too.
send you some pictures.
All right. Peace.